Hey guys, it's Britt back with another video. If you're interested in seeing how I created this makeup look, keep watching. Okay, so first things first, I always start with doing my hair first. I don't know, it just works out better every time I do my hair first. So let's get this mess into looking like something decent. So I start off with the Eco Styler gel, and I use a toothbrush to do my edges, an old toothbrush, a scarf to lay my edges, and then I use a regular brush to groom my hair flat, a spray bottle with water in it. So I'm right here, I'm just spraying down my hair just to moisturize it because it's a little dry. I swear I look like Frederick Douglass right here. But that's besides the point. Just spraying my hair down, trying to get it moisturized and all that. So next I just use a denim brush, I think that's what it's called, to smooth out my hair and get out all the bumps and knots and stuff like that, just to make sure that the ponytail is sleek as it can get and smooth back. Then I get a good size amount of Eco Styler gel and apply it to the parts of my hair that I want that's slick back, which is the sides. And I use a good amount and I brush it out, and if I need to add more, I do add more after I brush it out and see how flat that it is. Okay, so after adding the Eco Styler gel to the places that I needed, I go ahead and use the denim brush to brush out the rest of my hair just to make sure everything is as slick as possible with no bumps, knots, or anything like that. Right here, I am just combing out my baby hairs and getting like an extra piece on the side of my sideburns just because I'm extra. And I'm just defining the curl, and I'm going to brush down my baby hairs and perfect those as well. And if you know me, you know that I love to be extra with my baby hairs. It's just a part of being Brit, okay? And at this part, so as you can see, I did brush out my ponytail. So this part, I'm just trying to get the curls back in my ponytail. So I'm twisting it and like finger coiling the ponytail so I can get some curls and definition in the ponytail. And at this point, that's it. All I'm gonna do is just add this scarf to lay down my baby hairs while I do my makeup, and to just get my hair as flat as possible for it to be laid to the gods. Okay, so now on to makeup. The first thing I do is moisturize my skin with Nivea cream. I feel like I have combination skin. Like my skin has its moments where it wants to be oily, and then it has its moments where it wants to be dry. I don't know, I just try to help it when it's doing its thing. So after moisturizing, I like to prime my face just to make sure that the makeup runs smoothly and evenly throughout my face. Then at this point, I'm going to conceal my eyelids just to make sure that it has a clean slate for my eyeshadow colors that I'm going to add today. Then after adding the concealer to my eyelids, then you just blend like crazy just to make sure everything is one even skin tone. Okay, so now on to the most tedious part of doing your makeup is make or break. If your eyebrows are not looking on fleek, then there's no makeup. So here I'm using a eyebrow dip by ColourPop in the shade Redhead. I don't really like my eyebrows too dark, so that's why I use like a deep brown. So here I'm just using that and getting lit as you can see, but I'm looking for a brush. So let me just find this little brush and get started on my brows. So I finally got a hold of a spoolie to help groom my eyebrows in the places that I need them to be. So the front of my eyes, I like to keep the hairs going straight up, and then as we move along, I like them diagonal and then straight down. So I just go ahead and groom both eyebrows. Okay, so after I groom the eyebrow with the spoolie, I go ahead in with a small angled brush just to outline and sculpt the eyebrows to the size that I want to. And then I go ahead and do like little small strokes with a little bit of product, not too much because I don't want it to be too bold. And I start slightly in the front of my eyebrow. I don't put it straight up. I do like a diagonal move. I'm not sure what to call it, but I don't put it like straight up close to where my eyebrow starts growing. After outlining them, and then again come back with the spoolie and just evenly distribute the product that I have on my eyebrow. I make sure I brush them out and make sure that every part of my eyebrow has some product on it. And after doing all that for one eyebrow, you gotta do it again for the second one. So here I'm just repeating all the same steps that I did with the first one to this one. Random thought, am I the only one that thinks that one eyebrow always comes out better than the other? My left one always gives me fleekage and the other one is just like, I'm trying, but I'm not there yet. But anyways, that's besides the point. So right now I'm just concealing the eyebrows so they can be on fleek and look presentable. So I'm concealing both eyebrows, and then I'm gonna use a regular brush to like a regular small brush to just blend it out. This is probably random, but I like to moisturize my lips knowing that I'm gonna use like a matte lip, because I want my lips to have some kind of moisture while I have on the lipstick. Just a random thought. So here I'm just making sure everything is blended out okay, making sure that both eyebrows look semi-related. Okay, so now it's time to add the eyeshadow. Disclaimer, I am not a pro. I am still like in the beginning stage of eyeshadow, so don't judge your girl. I'm still learning. But I'm gonna use a Real Technique brush. It is the Deluxe Crease brush by Real Techniques, and I'm gonna use that to add the first shade of my look. That came out super pigmented, but we're gonna fix that. But anyways, what I'm doing here is just the mini circle technique and the, what do you call it, windshield wiper technique, where we're just trying to blend out, make sure everything doesn't look too bold on the eyes, and just making sure everything looks neat. And of course, whatever I did on that side, I'm going to repeat and do it on this side as well. Okay, so right here I'm gonna add my second color, which is by Perfusion, color Fearless. So I'm gonna use like a tapered brush to blend that in with the darker shade that I have already on my eyelid. So here I'm gonna go in with a small brush. It's called a base shadow brush by Real Techniques. And I'm gonna go in with the same palette, but with the color Cozy. And I'm gonna try to just make sure that these colors blend right together. So right here, a little trick that I learned along the way when I just started doing these eyeshadows, I go ahead and spray my brush with a finishing spray just to make sure that the pigment on the eyeshadow shows up on my eyelid. So next I'm using a small detailer brush by Real Techniques just to shape out where I want this last color to be really pigmented and show up bold and bright. So just a heads up, the smaller the brush, the more precise your line is going to be of where you want this eyeshadow to sit. So here I'm using a palette by BH Cosmetics. I really don't know if this palette has a name, but it's the foil colors. So it's the colors that are really pigmented and shiny and has some kind of glitter effect to it. As you can see, I'm going to use a flat brush and I'm going to spray it just to make sure that this eyeshadow is very pigmented and bright for the application. So right here, as you can see, I'm just packing on the third and last color, which is the color from the BH Cosmetics. I'm just packing it on the desired amount that I needed on top of the concealer. So after adding on the amount that I needed on top of the concealer, I'm going to go back in with the color Fearless from the Profusion palette and just make sure that it's blended out with everything. And everything looks seamless and looks good. So now that the tedious part is done, I go ahead and get a damp beauty blender. I'm using the Real Techniques beauty blender. Make sure that it's wet because your makeup comes out so much better when it's a damp beauty blender. And I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the matte version in the color 340, which is the cappuccino shade. So to blend out my face, blend out my foundation, I use the Expert Face Brush in Real Techniques to blend out the foundation on my face. And it looks kind of orangish right here, but as it oxidizes and I blend out the foundation, it blends perfectly fine. So it's on to my favorite part of doing my makeup, which is highlighting. So I go ahead and conceal under my eyes with the color Fawn in LA Girl, my forehead, my nose, my upper lip, the corners of my nose, and my chin. I'm extra, so I highlight literally anywhere I can. And then I go ahead and I also add couple shades lighter, which is Cool Tan in LA Girl. And I just use that under my eyes and my upper lip. Not really anywhere else. I just like to be extra in those places. Then I use the wet beauty blender, the damp, not wet, damp beauty blender, and just blend out all the areas that I highlighted. So now that I finished blending out the highlight, I'm gonna set them with a loose powder. And I used a setting brush by Real Techniques, and I set all the places that I highlighted. And just to get a little definition in my eyes, I go ahead and use the same color, Fearless and Cozy, and I just add those colors under my lash line just to have a little definition under my eyes. Now it's on to contouring. I'm going to use the contour brush by Real Techniques, and I use this sculpting palette, which I don't know what brand it is by. I just found it at like a Burlington or something like that. I'm going to use the darkest shade that they have in there, and I don't cream contour, I just use the powder because cream contour takes forever to blend out, and that's just an extra step if you ask me. So I contour my cheek, my forehead, because I legit have a 5 head, so I'm trying to bring it down to a 4, bring it down a couple notches to a 3 head. And I contour like my jawline, and that's it. So after I contour, I go ahead and set my face with the Urban Decay makeup setting spray. It's a long-lasting setting spray. I got this from like a Nordstrom just to try it out because I'd never tried it before. And I also go ahead and use the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. And you can get this from like a Target or Walmart. Okay, I obviously lied. My absolute favorite part of doing my makeup is highlighting, this type of highlight with the extra shimmer and all that. This is a girl's favorite part of doing my makeup. So I go ahead and use a fan brush by Real Techniques. It took me forever to find this brush, but I'd rather use a brush like this to highlight because it just does the job wonderful. And look at that glow though. Like, for real though, I didn't have to be that extra, but dang, that thing is blinding, okay? Yo, these makeup faces are not the move. But anyways, you know I'm extra, so I gotta highlight in the corners of my eyes and all that. I gotta dance. I gotta just do the whole nine, you know? Brit is just extra, Lord have mercy. And after I highlight, I go ahead and I set my face again just to have my highlight really pop and show more. Now I'm on to the lips. I'm going to outline my lips with this LA Girl, some random brown LA Girl lip liner that I found in like a papaya or something. It really works though. I really like it. And I'm just gonna outline my lips. I'm really extra with it, so you know, your girl is extra, so I'm extra with everything. Then I go in with this NYX Pinup Tease mascara. I don't do lashes because, I don't know, my lashes are way too curly for lashes to even stay on. So I just use a really good mascara and that does the job great for me because I'm not about that lash life. And I just add it to my top and a little bit on my bottom lash just to, you know, give it a little volume. Okay, so now that I'm moving on to the lips. I use an NYX Lip Tease in the shade 10. I'm not sure what the name is, but I'll have everything down in the description. NYX really needs to sponsor me though, for real. Like, tell a friend that NYX needs to see me, okay? No, but for real, all jokes aside, on a serious note, for someone that loves matte lipstick, this doesn't dry your lips out and it lasts forever. Like, it has like a velvety finish. but it's matte. It doesn't like come off easily. It's great if you ask me. And this is, my friend, the finished look of what I just created. It's like a sunsetty effect on the eyes and just like a dark brown lip. I really like it, but I mean, there's always room for improvement, and your girl is always getting better. So this is what we have for now. I had to get a little slow-mo, you know, just to show you everything. But thanks for watching, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.